NCWLIFE Channel Sports is proud to bring you the following presentation.
In easily to score is Byer. Schooler comes out right behind him.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Abby's Pizza, Biosports Physical Therapy, Clean Connection, Coldwell Banker Cascade, Confluence Health, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, and Together for Youth. Now, live coverage of high school sports on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE Channel.
Go, go, go!
Campus of Eastmont High School, along with Brandon Schmitten, I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE channels. We bring you the first of two games here this afternoon between the Eastmont Wildcats and the Moses Lake Mavericks. Moses Lake atop the Big Nine standings at 6-0. They handed Eastmont their first loss in the Big Nine earlier this week by a score of 5-2. Brandon, talk about this matchup, and these teams always seem to be battling towards the top of the Big Nine.
Yeah, definitely. Moses Lake's always been very well coached, and they come in, and Donnie's an aggressive coach that's going to put the game in motion, and Coach Hoff is also going to put the game in motion, and so it's going to be a lot of guys running around the bases. And, you know, we have a good pitcher going for Moses Lake today. He's definitely a guy that's going to be one of the top pitchers in the league this year. And Eastmont is also having a good guy that's going to be throwing. So hopefully we keep this a good game and keep it defensively. They play well, and, you know, you never know where these games are going to end up. So.
Well, and we should mention, too, that, of course, we got a lot of folks that are watching us in the Moses Lake and Grant County area, as we have Local Tel now out in Grant County. So we're kind of splitting this right down the middle. I know you're a former Eastmont coach and you're an Eastmont guy, but we'll try to keep it neutral as possible with our broadcast here this afternoon. They're announcing the starting lineups. It was a little questionable as to whether we were going to get baseball or not today. In fact, they talked about moving this game up earlier in the week to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and, well, if they would have done that, they wouldn't have been able to play because it was raining pretty good during the noon hour today. We will take a break as they get the anthem here played, and we'll come back at you the starting lineups and first pitch coming up next here on the NCWLIFE channel.
At Prestige Senior Living, we celebrate life at every age. From our cognitive and fall reduction programs to our focus on life enrichment and wellness, we help our residents maintain independence while nurturing mind, body, and spirit. Residents also enjoy a wide variety of amenities and services, including restaurant-quality dining, housekeeping, a full calendar of events, and so much more. To learn more or to schedule a tour, visit us at prestigecare.com or call the number on your screen. We can't wait to show you around.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Game one between the Mavericks and the Wildcats. Let's take a look at the starting lineup here offensively for Moses Lake. Our starters brought to you by TC Slingers. Let TC Slingers save you time, money, and labor with their conveyor application. Call for your free estimate today at 509-885-2269. TC Slingers of Wenatchee, your landscape placement company. Batting first will be the right fielder, Braden Anderson. Batting second will be the catcher, Blaine McDonald. Batting third, Zane Harden, who's at second base. Batting cleanup will be first baseman Josh West. A very senior-laden lineup here for the Mavericks. In fact, 6 in a row seniors to start off in the ball game here this afternoon. Batting fifth will be Michael Getzinger. He is the DH/pitcher. Drew Greninger is a senior center fielder. He'll bat sixth. Batting seventh is Cruz Martinez, the third baseman. Batting eighth will be left fielder Jackson Carlos, and batting ninth will be Jay Stewart, the shortstop. On the mound for Eastmont this afternoon is Colin Bapst. He's 1-0 with a 1.0 earned run average. Getting the start here for Eastmont, looking to right the ship after their first loss in Big Nine play earlier this week. So here we go. Underway, top of the first, along with Brandon Schmitten. I'm Eric Granstrom. The first pitch misses away for ball one. 1-0 the count to Braden Anderson. Little bit of a breeze blowing in from center field. We're just talking about the weather. We had rains all night last night and through the morning hours this morning, and clouds still kind of threatening looking, but right now nothing here in our banana belt. 2-0 count to Anderson. Bapst ready, and the pitch swung on, popped up, foul, first base side. Will there be a play going over past the dugout area? And we're guarded from that area there as far as what we can see. The umpire threw both hands up, so foul ball, I guess, is the call. And it's a 2-1 count here on Anderson.
Yeah, Jet went over there in that corner where, as you said, we couldn't see that, but he's a good athlete. So
it's interesting dimensions here with the fencing and the, beyond the first base dugout as far as what's in play, what's out of play. Basically, Brandon, if it's out of the fence, then it's out of play?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
2-1 pitch here is a strike called on the inside corner. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. By the way, our umpiring crew today, 2-man crew. Jeff Levitt is calling balls and strikes behind home plate, and John Steiner out on the base pass. This pitch is taken for strike 3. Beautiful pitch by Bapst on the inside corner. So 1 out here for Moses Lake, and that'll bring up catcher Blaine McDonald.
That was a good job by Colin coming back from being down 2-0 and battling back there.
Was able to find the strike zone. Here he comes with the first pitch to McDonald, and this pitch is a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count to McDonald. Another senior here in the lineup for the Mavericks. The 0-1 pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Good job by Bapst so far of painting the corners here. And the first couple of batters he's faced, he's ahead in the count now to McDonald. 0-2 pitch is in the dirt inside, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Defensively, Nate Whitehall is behind the plate. Jet Llewellyn is at first base. Carter Heimbigner is out at second. Tyson Llewellyn at short, and Michael Singleton is at third. Here comes the next pitch as the hat goes flying off of Bapst's head. It is a little bit high for a ball. In the outfield, in left field, it's Kellen Leonard. Valenti Barrios is out in center, and Skylar Bryant in right. 2-2 wind and delivery by Bapst. Swung on and hit hard, and that is a foul ball just barely down the third baseline in left field. Didn't miss by much.
No, it didn't. That would have been extra bases for sure there.
It's impressive to me to see batters be able to go the other way. And I don't know if it may be a late swing.
Mm-hmm.
I maybe giving the hitter a little more credit than maybe deserved there. But still, I mean, just to go the other way, it just shows how well a guy can see the ball.
Yeah, that's one thing that I know Coach Hoff really focuses on is taking pitches where they're given to you. So on an outer half, just wait back, drive the ball the other way, and seems to be that's where you can perfect your swing and get the most out of it.
McDonald now with the count full. Bapst with the pitch on the way to the plate is inside for ball 4. So struck out the first guy looking. McDonald gets aboard on a walk, and that'll bring up second baseman Zane Harden. As we mentioned, a little bit of a breeze blowing in from the outfield here. It's 328 listed here to left field and 328 to right.
And we got 378 to center. There's no sign up there this year. But
thank you, Coach. Harden steps in, left-handed batter. As Bapst will work from the stretch with McDonald over his shoulder at first base. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed, and the count 0-1 here to Zane Harden.
They brought in a courtesy runner here, number 5, Nolan Betts.
Oh, they did. Okay.
This kid likes to run from the information that I've been given.
A diminutive one over there at first base, and a toss over by Bapst to keep him close to the bag. So one thing we should mention for anybody that's been watching Major League Baseball, no pitch clock here in high school baseball. So they can throw over, they can step off, they can do whatever they want out on the mound. Pitch right down the middle here to Harden, taken for a strike as Bapst loses the hat once again. Kids are back growing the hair long in the back, so
yes,
hard to keep
are.
that hat on. 0-2 count to Harden with 1 out and 1 aboard. Pitch on the way, bounces in, and a good stop behind the plate by Whitehall. Keeps the ball right in front of him, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Boy, I hope the clouds that are over Stamil Hill right now don't come our way, because there is a lot of rain falling over there right now.
Yeah, I kind of want to keep it quiet, but I just felt a raindrop.
Yeah, I thought so. Unless you were spitting. Throw to the bag at first, not in time. Appreciate you joining us here in what is so far a decent afternoon with the sun splitting the cloud cover. Temperatures in the 50s. 1-2 the count to Hardin as Babst again tosses over to the bag at first, maybe thinking that Betts over there was going to leave a little early. Well, and that's about a scouting report too, Coach. Is, you know, you get somebody on the base paths likes to get moving.
That's right.
Keep him close.
Yeah, I got a good running count here too.
And the pitch is swung on a miss. The throw down to second base, and throw is in time. Ball goes through the grasp of the shortstop, Llewellyn, and down to second base on a stolen base with now 2 outs. Both of those outs are strikeouts here for Colin Babst, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, first baseman Josh West. Pitch to West is swung on and fouled away, and the count 0-1 here to Josh. Again, one of 6 seniors in the starting lineup here for the Mavericks this afternoon.
Yep, batting 1 through 6 in the lineup as well.
Yeah. 0-1 pitch is missing low for a ball. Good idea by Babst. I don't know if he was purposefully trying to throw it out of the strike zone, but it was a good idea there anyway. With a big kid at the plate right now, that's for sure. Pitch to Hardin, misses high for ball 2.
And there goes that hat again.
Should we keep a hat count today? How many times a hat falls off? That's 3. I'll keep a hat count over
there. You go.
Since baseball's all about stats, right?
That's right.
2-1 pitch, swung on and hit in the air to right field. That's where the wind's blowing in from, and settling under it is Skylar Bryant, and he'll make the catch for the out, and that'll be it for Moses Lake here in their part of the first. They get a runner aboard on a walk. They leave a man. We will head to the bottom of the first. No score for Moses Lake, and the Wildcats do up next. You're watching Big Nine Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? With today's home values, this is the perfect time to sell and make those dreams real. When you work with a world-class agent at Coldwell Banker, you benefit from trusted guidance and our revolutionary seller's assurance program to make your home sale more rewarding than ever. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Look at the Eastmont Wildcat offensive setup. So let's take a look at that lineup, brought to you by TC Slingers of Wenatchee, your landscape placement company. Batting first to be the shortstop, Tyson Llewellyn, or Tice, as you tell me
yes.
He goes by. Just a freshman in the starting lineup here for Eastmont. That's impressive. Center fielder Valente Barrios will bat second. He is the center fielder. First baseman Jet Llewellyn will bat third. Batting fourth is third baseman Michael Singleton. Batting fifth is Colin Babst, the pitcher. Batting sixth, left fielder Kellen Leonard. Batting seventh, right fielder Skylar Bryant. Nate Whitehall's the catcher. He bats eighth. And then batting ninth, Carter Heimbigner, the second baseman. On the mound for Moses Lake getting the start this afternoon is Michael Getzinger. So Getzinger getting the start. And we saw him in the lineup trying to get to the plate in that first inning. He's a senior. The catcher is Blaine McDonald. Around the field defensively, Josh West at first, Zane Harden at second, Tyson Llewellyn. Excuse me, it's not Tyson Llewellyn. Yeah, it is. No,
Tice Llewellyn.
Tice, but I've got him listed at shortstop for Moses Lake. That doesn't work so well.
No.
So Jay Stewart is the shortstop. There we go. Had too many fun conversations going on in that pregame while I'm writing the list down. Cruz Martinez is the third baseman. So here we go. Tice Llewellyn will step up and lead it off here for Eastmont, hoping to get things started early against the Mavericks. And the first pitch sails away for ball one. 1-0 the count to Tice, a freshman stepping in from the left-handed batter's box. The 1-0 pitch swung on, popped up, and fouled and out of play. And the count even now to Llewellyn at 1-1 strike. And we were talking before the game, Brandon Schmitten joining us here on the broadcast. Brandon's a former head coach here at Eastmont and a longtime baseball coach in the Valley. And Tice's dad, Matt, is former assistant coach of yours.
That's correct, and so is his grandpa, Gary. So Gary coached with us for quite a few years as well. So
Gary Llewellyn was the first coach of the Wenatchee Apple Sox back in 2000 when they first started. This pitch swung on a hit to the right side of the infield, but on 2 hops to Josh West, the first baseman. He'll take it to the bag himself. 3 unassisted on the put out. 1 out here in the first brings up center fielder Valente Barrios. Yeah, it was fun. I've seen Gary, of course, covering baseball. I know Gary was an assistant coach at Wenatchee for a time as well, and bouncing around. And every time I see Gary, it's old home week, and ask him how Matt is. And then the fact that he's got grandkids now, and that Matt was an Apple Sox shortstop back when they first started. When Gary was the coach, that just makes me feel real old that he's got kids now that are playing high school baseball.
Well, and then his brother Dirk also had kids that came through here. So Chase Llewellyn played shortstop for us for quite a few years as well.
First pitch bounced in outside to Barrios. He takes the second pitch for a ball. So 2-0 the count to Valente, who bats from the left side here against Michael Getzinger. The 2-0 pitch is a strike called by our home plate umpire, Jeff Levitt. John Steiner is down on the base pass. John took a wicked line drive right off his shin bone at first base last week in the game we called between Wenatchee and West Valley. Seeing eye single will go back past the mound and over into center field for Barrios. So a 1-out sharply hit single. Drew Greninger picks it up out there in center field. Outfield, by the way, Jackson Carlos in left, Drew Greninger in center, and Braden Anderson in right. Jet Llewellyn will step up with a runner on here for the Wildcats. Scoreless so far. Bottom of the first, just underway here at Dan White Field. 1-0, or the first pitch misses away for a ball. 1-0 the count to Jet Llewellyn. You give a kid a name like Jet, and he's got to have some wheels.
That's right. He better be fast.
The 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike, and the count evens to Llewellyn at 1 ball and 1 strike. Field looks like it held up really well with the rain we had last night. I don't know how much rain we got. It was kind of a light rain, but it was pretty consistent all night long.
Yeah, and it rained all day yesterday, too.
Pitch swung on here. This is going to be a tough play for the third baseman. Bare hands and throws, and it is not in time. So Jet turning on the Jet, getting down to first base on a ground ball to Cruz Martinez. And 2 aboard here for Eastmont. That'll be an infield single for Llewellyn. That'll bring up third baseman Michael Singleton. Now, I was trying to remember that last year. Singleton used to catch, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Okay. And Jet was catching earlier this year, too.
Okay.
So Nate got an opportunity, I believe it was against Davis, and showed really well. And so the coaches have made him the starting guy there.
Okay. First pitch swung on a grounded foul on the third base side. So 0-1 to count to Singleton. Quickly get a ball back out to Michael Getzinger, pitcher for Moses Lake here in game 1, with Eastmont threatening. 1 down, 2 aboard here in the bottom of the first. This pitch swung on and hit hard back over the mound into center field. That's going to be a base hit. They're going to hold the runner at third as the ball didn't get very far onto the grass out in outfield as Greninger came in to field it. So back-to-back-to-back base hits here for Eastmont, and the base is jammed for Colin Babst. Babst on the season, hitting .400. Chance to pick up. He's leading the team in RBIs. It's third on the team in RBIs with 5. So Colin steps up with ducks on the pond here. First pitch misses way outside, and a good job by Blaine McDonald to scamper after that one and keep it from going all the way to the backstop and forcing in a run from third base.
Yeah, he's leading the league, the team in doubles right now, too. So he's been hitting it pretty well for the Wildcats.
First, this next pitch swung on a chop back over the mound to the shortstop. They'll flip to second for 1. The relay to first is in time. They get the double play, and what a big time for that for the Mavericks. 6-4-3 twin killing pitcher's best friend. We'll head to the second inning of play. Still scoreless here. You're watching Big Nine Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCWLIFE Channel.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
Michael Getzinger, Drew Greninger, and Cruz Martinez do up the 5, 6, 7 hitters for Moses Lake, and they're part of the second. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Abby's Pizza. For more than 50 years, Abby's has proudly served the Northwest with toppings to the edge. 100% real cheese and freshly rolled dough. Make it an Abby's Pizza night tonight. Also by Biosports Physical Therapy, Aqua Therapy, Sports Biomechanics, Orthopedic, Physical Therapy, Orthotics. All you need to keep moving. Find them online at biosports.net. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Michael Getzinger leads it off here for the Mavericks. They got a runner aboard on a walk. Couple of strikeouts for Colin Babst in that first frame, and this first pitch is fouled away. Count 0-1 on Getzinger. You know, it's interesting when you in the springtime when you get these clouds that move through that are moistened with rain, and then you get that sun that come out. The sun feels so warm when it does come out. This pitch swung on, hit in the air to right field, and the calling for it is Skylar Bryant, and he will make his second consecutive putout. One out here for the Mavericks, and that'll bring up center fielder Drew Greninger.
Most places in the country, you look at it and it says 60% chance of rain, and you know you're going to get rained on.
Right.
Here. You know,
not so much.
You're not going to.
No.
It's more like 90% chance.
Yeah, right.
That you will not.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I always wondered about those percentages. You know, we talk about numbers being around baseball. First pitch misses here to Greninger outside 1-0. But when they say 60% chance of rain, is that a 60% chance it's going to rain, or that 60% of the day will be filled with rain?
That's a good question.
Greninger misses, or takes the next pitch outside for a ball. 2-0 the count, quickly in his favor. And Babs misses again with ball 3.
Mark another one up there for the hat.
Hat goes down. Okay, see, you're going to have to help me with that because the umpire's screening me. I couldn't see the hat come off there. We got a hat off count here for Colin Babst. He's now behind in the count here to Greninger. Yeah, 3 balls and no strikes. The next pitch is across, and that's a called strike. The count it goes to 3-1.
And one more hat.
And one more hat. Okay, that's 5 already in an inning and a third. Do we have a record for how many times the hat falls off?
That's a good question.
This pitch misses low. So the second walk here given up by Babst. Interestingly, it was the second batter in the first inning that drew the walk, and here in the second it is the second batter. That'll bring up third baseman Cruz Martinez, who is our first non-senior to show himself here for the Mavericks. He is a sophomore, third baseman. Pitch swung on and fouled back, and the count 0-1 here. And Greninger actually staying in to run for himself at first base.
Yeah, Cruz was a little behind that ball there.
One on, one out, and an 0-1 count here to Martinez, and a toss to the bag at first. Different coaches have different theories on throwing over to first base. You really have to count on your pitcher and your first baseman to make that play, even to do so, right, Coach?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, there's often times when it's
called here,
errant throw and bounce off the guy's back, and the next thing you know, he's standing at third base for you.
Right. That just always makes me nervous. 0-2 count quickly on Martinez here, and another toss to the bag at first.
That's where it really helps to have a good athlete over at first base.
And that right now, Jet Llewellyn comes from a baseball family, as we were talking about here earlier. Timeout called for by the batter. So Martinez takes a step out. Kind of crowding in a little bit from that right-handed batter's box to the right-hander on the mound, Colin Babst. Babst ahead in the count here at 0-2. Runner from first feigns like he's going to go. Ball
nice
smothered,
play.
And a throw to first base
That's
is in
a double
time.
play.
That's a double play. He caught that on the fly. Or did he?
Yes,
he did. How about that?
It's a great play there
So
by Carter
line out
Heimdinger.
4-3 on the double play, and that was a sweet move right there. And that'll do it for the Mavericks here in the top of the second. To the bottom of we'll go. You're watching Big Nine Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hi, folks. Welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can lift this button right here. Time warranty.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
I had a seizure in the middle of the night, and they rushed me to the hospital and decided to induce labor to try to get the baby out. The outpouring of love and support I got from Confluence Health. My coworkers coming to the ICU to be with me. For me, it's the work family. It's just incredible to have support no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, my own health.
Kellen Leonard, Skylar Bryant, and Nate Whitehall do up here for the Wildcats in their part of the second inning. The 6, 7, and 8 hitters for Eastmont. Wildcats had a golden opportunity in their part of the first, got the bases loaded, but then a beautiful double play turn by the Mavericks defense got them out of the inning. Leonard leading it off. And the first pitch misses away for ball one from Michael Getzinger. You were telling me, Coach, as we were coming in here, that Kellen hasn't had a lot of chance to play this year.
That's right. He rolled his ankle before the first game and is just now getting back to 100% and getting back out there on the field for him. And it's never a good thing to come in and face a guy that's the quality of Getzinger here for your first at-bat.
Yeah, it's one thing batting in the cage and in practice. It's another thing to be out there live action. 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on and hit back right to Getzinger. He'll field it and underhand over to first base in time for the out. So 1-3 on the putout. The hit ball here on a bounce right back to the pitcher, and that'll bring up Skylar Bryant, the right fielder. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Clean Air Connection. Clean Air Connection you give them a call to help keep your carpet, upholstery, and air ducts clean for a healthier environment inside your home. Locally owned, find them at yourcleanconnection.com. Bryant, the right fielder, steps up. He's had a couple of plays defensively already today. And the pitch swung on a ground ball to the shortstop. Backhanding it is Jay Stewart, and a throw to first base in time.
Great hustle there by Skylar. Made that play a lot closer than what it should have been.
So 2 up, 2 down for Eastmont. Brings up the catcher, Nate Whitehall. Junior for the Wildcats. Batting .300 on the season. In his 13 official at-bats so far. So Wildcats come in today 4-1 in Big Nine play. They're 4-2 overall. He'll take the first pitch outside for ball one. 1-0 the count here to Whitehall. Nobody on board, and the next pitch is a check swing, but it was right down the middle for a called strike by our home plate umpire, Jeff Lovett. 1-1 to count here to Whitehall. First of 2 games here this afternoon at Dan White Field. The 1-1 pitch to Whitehall is a curveball strike on the inside corner. Count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Quick worker on the mound, Michael Getzinger. Breeze ruffles behind home plate, and the next pitch is fouled, and just got a piece of that to stay alive, so the count stays at a ball and 2 strikes.
As you were saying earlier, the Moses Lake's senior heavy, and the Eastmont is junior heavy. They've got 5 juniors and a couple underclassmen below that too, so we've got a lot of guys coming back next year for us.
This pitch is swung on and hit to the right side, just past the diving stretch of Zayden Harden out there at second base. So a 2-out single to right field by Whitehall, and that'll bring up second baseman Carter Heinbichner. As you mentioned, another junior in the lineup here for Coach Hoff.
Jace Travato coming in to run for him.
So Travato, we saw him during the football season over there at first base. In for the catcher. And the pitch on the way here is a fastball missing outside barely. 1-0 the count to Heinbichner. 0-0, bottom of the second here at Dan White Field. Pitch swung on and hit hard on a hop to the shortstop. He'll backhand go the short route to second base, and that'll do it. So a fielder's choice, 6-4. And that'll do it for Eastmont to get a runner aboard on a base hit. We will head to the third, still scoreless. You're watching Big Nine Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires. I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So it's right here.
During our spring tire sale, we watch out for your wallet, too. Save up to $175 when you buy select tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
Jackson Carlos, Jay Stewart, and Braden Anderson due up here for Moses Lake, and they're part of the third in a scoreless contest here at Dan White Field. Eric Granstrom along with Brandon Schmitten here on the broadcast. Appreciate you joining us here today on the OK Friday. Hope all the kids have enjoyed their spring break. You too, Coach?
Yes, most definitely.
Thank you for taking some time out of your spring break to come and join us on the broadcast today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
First pitch is a bunt attempt, and the home plate umpire says, yeah, he kind of pushed the bat across the plate, so that's a strike. 0-1 the count to Jackson Carlos, and you might start seeing that in a pitcher's duel here, right, Coach? To maybe to try to manufacture something.
That's right. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, both coaches like to run and play small ball. So any way you can get on and make something happen. This is going to be a lot like playoff caliber baseball right here for both coaches mentality-wise.
Pitch taken by Carlos is a strike, so the count runs to 1-2. And so far, Colin Babst hasn't given up a base hit. In fact, the only base runners have been on a board on free pass from Colin. 2 walks so far. Swing and a miss here and a strikeout to start the inning. That is the third strikeout to the ball game for Babst. And he didn't lose his hat that time, or did he? Oh, he did. Okay, so the hat count continues at 6. His strikeout count continues at 3, and that'll bring up Jay Stewart, the shortstop. Junior for the Mavericks steps in the right-handed batter's box, and Babst ready, and the first pitch is a curveball inside, missing for ball 1, and another hat.
Either a smaller hat or a haircut, one of the two.
Well, I know in my conservative ways, I'd say the haircut, but you know, kids got to be kids. This
That's
pitch
right.
misses outside for a ball. 2-0 the count here to Jace Stewart. Now, am I seeing that right? Does Babst also have sunglasses on the back of his helmet or back of his hat?
You know, I think that's the internal part of the hat that flipped up.
Okay, all right. The hat band is flipped inside out.
Maybe that's holding it down for him.
Well, it could be. So again, Babst, the second batter of the inning, he just has a hard time with as he walked him on 3 straight pitches. So that's 3 consecutive innings where the second man that Colin has faced, he walks, and back to the top of the order here for Braden Anderson. Anderson 0 for 1. He struck out looking back in the first.
I wouldn't be surprised if Donnie puts a game in motion here.
Singleton in on the grass in front of the third base side, and the ball fouled away on a full swing by Anderson. 0-1 the count. I didn't see that Stewart left early over there at first base on the swing. So no run and hit per se there. Babst working from the stretch. And the pitch to the plate is outside. Again, good stop by Whitehall. Count evens now to Anderson at 1 ball and 1 strike. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Coldwell Banker Cascade, encouraging you to leave your mark. Coldwell Banker Cascade is guiding you home in north central Washington. Another toss to the bag at first, not in time. But a good idea to keep an eye on Jay Stewart over there. Stewart with a pretty good lead, and then he extends that lead even further, and the pitch misses just inside. And a count 2-1, and another hat falling off of our pitcher, Colin Babst.
You know, we always did that, where we'd have a guy that was a decent hitter, not your worst hitter by any means, at the number 9 slot, and then
runner goes, the pitch is inside, the throw down to second base is not in time. Stolen base here for Jay Stewart. And the count runs to 3-1 on Braden Anderson. Continue your point.
Yeah, and then he was a guy that was fast, and so he would be able to get into scoring position early for the leadoff. So we always thought of it as another leadoff hitter in the number 9 hole. So
this pitch misses low, so another walk given up here by Babst. So that'll put runners at first and second base with 1 out, and bring up the catcher, Blaine McDonald. We see that with the Mariners. They have J.P. Crawford in the 9 hole.
Yep.
And it's a lot of speed if he gets on the base paths. Yeah. J.P. had an RBI double, I know, today. I don't know if the Mariners won that game. They came back. They were trailing early and then had the lead, according to what Dan Kuntz was telling us. Our engineer back in the van, Tucker, is telling me that his hat has fallen off way more than 5 times. He says it's falling off every time he pitches. So I'll try to pull up the Mariner game here. But they were ahead 5-3, and it was the bottom of the 9th at the time. So let's see if I can get an update here.
That'd be nice for them to come back and get a win.
Yeah. And, yes, they do hold on for the win. 5-3, the final. Mariners knock off the Guardians today in the first of a 3-game weekend series in Cleveland. So a good start for the Mariners on the road trip. After a conversation out on the mound, everybody's all back and ready, and they're going to throw to second base, and oh boy, that makes you nervous. Toss was a little high, but a good job out there by Carter Heimbigner to snap the ball and try to apply the tag to Stewart out there at second base.
And Valente was doing a good job moving into position for the bad throw there, too.
Pitch is a little outside for a ball. So Colin, after a couple of decent frames, has had a little control problems here in the 3rd with 2 aboard for the Mavericks in a scoreless contest. The 1-0 pitch is low for a ball.
Doesn't look like they have anybody up in the bullpen right now either.
And a reminder of where we are in the neighborhood with the dogs across the street. Sounding in chorus. That pitch misses high, and that was a long look in by Colin to the home plate umpire. Like, okay, so where exactly did that miss?
Yeah, he wasn't too pleased with that call there.
Took a little walk off the backside of the mound and kind of shaking his head as he climbs back up and ready with a count 3-0 here to the catcher, Blaine McDonald. Pitch on the way is right down the middle for a strike. And Tucker Wagner back in the van is, I think, probably keeping a more accurate count on the hat loss. 3-1 to McDonald. Runners hold. Pitch swung on, a hit hard on a hop to the shortstop. It'll bounce towards second, and everybody's going to be safe. And our umpire goes down on the play, and he might be injured. Did it hit him? I didn't think it hit him.
I didn't think it did either.
Okay, maybe he just got down quickly. And that'll be an infield single, as that was a hard hit ball. Tyson Llewellyn had a ricochet off of his chest, and I thought it might bounce just far enough for Carter Heimbigner to come over and grab it, but no. So now the bases are jammed for Zane Harden. Harden struck out swinging in his first at-bat in the first. This pitch swung on a hit foul up the first baseline. The count 0-1 to Harden. Shaka Sunshine comes out to bathe the field here at Dan White Field here in East Wenatchee. And a sticky situation here for Colin Babst on the hill for the Wildcats. The pitch here swung on and fouled back. The count quickly in Babst's favor at 0-2.
Looked like that bat hit the ball again after they on a ricochet there.
Yeah, old Bugs Bunny deal. He strike out 3 times on one pitch.
Yeah. You know, you were mentioning earlier the ability of kids going the other way, and look at the left field line here. You know, if he takes a pitch down the left side.
Clear the bases. If
yeah.
you could get it down there. Pitch misses high. Good idea by Baps to try to get him to chase one out of the strike zone. The count goes to a ball and 2 strikes here to the senior second baseman, Zane Harden. Bases loaded, 1 out. And the 1-2 pitch swung on a hit to the right side of the infield. Second baseman overfields and throws. The only play is to first base, and a run's going to score. And Moses Lake takes the early lead here in the third, 1-0. 4-3 on the putout on Harden, giving him an RBI for driving in the run. Meanwhile, Anderson moves down to third base. McDonald at second base. Or did they bring in a pinch runner for McDonald out there, the catcher at second base? I think they did. Can't see the number on his jersey front. Josh West, meanwhile, steps up, and the first pitch to him misses low and away for a ball.
Yeah, they did bring in that. What's his name there? Zane.
Was it Betts?
Yes, Nolan Betts.
Nolan
Betts, yes.
Okay, so Betts running out there at second.
Good wheels.
Pitch swung on and fouled back, and the count even now to Josh West at 1 ball, 1 strike. West came up with a runner aboard at second in the first and flew out to right. So he's 0 for 1. 1-1 the count to him here is we have sunshine, but a few raindrops falling down upon us. And this pitch misses inside for a ball. 2-1 the count. So the run that scored was one of the 2 walks given up by Babst here in the third. That infield base hit, by the way, was the first base hit of the ball game for Moses Lake. This pitch swung on and hit hard to center field. Going over to his right and making the catch is Barrios, and that'll do it. So he gets out of what could have been a big inning for Moses Lake, does Colin Babst. 1 run in, 1 hit, and a couple left aboard. We'll head to the bottom of the third, 1-0. Moses Lake on top. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hey man, how's your arm?
Getting better, actually, thanks.
Did they give you anything for pain after surgery? Because I think I may have some left over.
Nah, that's all right, man. Actually, me and my doctor talked about not sharing prescriptions, and that ibuprofen's a good option for me. The risk of addiction is not worth it.
Makes sense.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions, and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located in East Wenatchee. Highlander Golf Course has added 2 state-of-the-art full-swing simulators. Food and drink service is available from our full-service bar and grill, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Call Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
Well, the Mavericks grab a 1-0 lead here as we head to the bottom of the third. And Dan Whitefield, along with Brandon Schmitten. I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Confluence Health. High-quality care close to home. Confluence Health is dedicated to improving their patients' health with safe, high-quality care in 12 communities. So top of the order due up here for the Wildcats as Tyson Llewellyn, Valente Barrios, and Jet Llewellyn due up in their part of the third for Eastmont. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for Moses Lake. No runs, 4 hits, and no errors for the Wildcats. First pitch bounces into Llewellyn, 1-0 the count.
Yeah, you were mentioning the speed of Jet Llewellyn. Tice is equally as fast.
Well, and you get a kid like that out of the left-handed batter's box. Yeah, look out. Drag bunt, City.
Yes.
First baseman playing back of the bag at first. The pitch is a little outside for ball 2. A few smatters of raindrops falling now, and the Matthew Moore back in the studio telling me he was looking at not our satellite cams, but our tower cameras, and he said it is absolutely pouring in several spots and up here as well. So 2-1 the count here to Llewellyn, and the pitch swung on, and a ball hit to center field, and that's going to be caught on a line drive by Greninger out there. And we'll try to protect our gear here and our paperwork as the rains are falling. And they are big, wet drops right now. So one out for Eastmont in the third as Barrios steps up. He's 1 for 1 with a base hit to center in the first. And the first pitch to him here misses low for a ball. 1-0 the count. I guess I'll just keep my score sheet under the table until I have to mark it. As we have drops of large raindrops falling right now pretty consistently here at the ballpark. The 1-0 pitch is a strike called. And a count even to Barrios at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, Tice is definitely fast and can lay one down, but he doesn't get cheated at the plate. He likes to take a big swing.
Pitch here misses outside. Oh, no, they called it a strike. So 1-2 the count to Barrios. As the splatter raindrops tries to smear my ink on my score sheet here and then also make my score sheet more of a doily than a piece of paper. The count now even to Barrios at 2 balls and 2 strikes, and the pitch here is low and inside for ball 3, so he's worked it full. Again, so mixture here. Got to look for a rainbow, right?
Right.
You got sun and you got rain, so it's got to be a rainbow somewhere.
Well, there's one right over there to our left.
Okay. This pitch is high and inside for a ball. So a 1-out walk given up to Barrios. And for Getzinger, that's his first walk of the game, I think. Yeah, it is.
Valente's been on twice today already.
So 1 on, 1 down. That brings up Jet Llewellyn, who got a infield base hit in his first plate appearance back in the first inning. So he's 1 for 1. And the pitch to him misses high and outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Our broadcast also brought to you by Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, providing heating and air conditioning service and installation since 1982. Serving residential and commercial, they specialize in indoor air quality, installation, service, and repair. See, it's like I started reading that commercial knowing that the catcher was going to go out to the mound.
Yes.
Yeah, I just knew
good
that.
timing.
It's experience.
You've been doing this for a couple years.
Yeah, I had no idea what's going out there. So after a brief discussion between McDonald and Getzinger, everybody all ready to go here. And a 1-0 pitch on the way to Llewellyn. The runner goes. The pitch is swung on cute off the end of the bat. That's going to be a beautiful play by the pitcher.
Great play.
How about that? That ball had a lot of English to it. Getzinger off the mound. The ball goes past him. He's able to grab the ball, pirouette, throw to first base in time for the out. So down to second on the play goes Barrios. 1-3 on the putouts for the second out. And that'll bring up Michael Singleton. Singleton, apropos to his last name, had a single in his first at bat. He's 1 for 1.
Looks like that ball got thrown out of the game. I don't know if it's wet or if it got cut. Those are the kind of swings.
Well, it was right off the end of the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably nicked the cover of the ball up a little bit. Although if you're a pitcher, you kind of like having that little wing on there, especially if you're a junk pitcher. This pitch is outside for ball 1 to Singleton. 1-0 the count.
That's the amazing thing in the major leagues. Ball touches the ground, it's out of the game.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I thought that would be a good move. They were wanting to speed up the game.
Keep the ball in play.
On and foul. Yeah, keep the ball in play, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
Just because it touches the ground doesn't mean that the ball is hurt in any way. And half the time they throw those balls out, and I'll bet you they come back into the game eventually.
Yeah, probably.
Although I don't know. I mean, they're what is the? Do you know what the ball count is per Major League Baseball game?
Paul
Harvey back in the day said it was 190 baseballs.
I would agree with that
in one game.
Yeah,
of course, that's aging me because Paul Harvey's been dead a long time.
And that's the rest of the story.
This pitch is a strike on the outside corner to Singleton.
Yeah, I know after the games, you can go down to the home bullpen or home dugout, and oftentimes they'll take the balls that got thrown out of the game and toss them up into the crowd if they won. So
that's good. This pitch swung on a miss outside for strike 3, and that'll do it here for Eastmont, and they're part of the third. To get a runner aboard on a walk, they leave a man. We'll head to the fourth. It's Moses Lake 1, Eastmont nothing. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
I chose a career at Confluence South because I wanted to help people, and I knew there would be opportunities for growth. I started as a medical assistant, but quickly advanced in my career. I received 5 promotions in only 7 years, 3 of those in management roles. Most organizations don't offer that type of growth. Now, as a career pathway coordinator, I let everyone know. Come join Confluence Health. Come grow with us.
Getting ready for the boating season is easy with the help of Bob File Boats and Motors. Now's the time of year to upgrade your boat from a new motor, a bow mount, installing a state-of-the-art GPS fish finder, or just fixing your trailer lights. Make your appointment today. With marine technology changing fast, the service department stays up to date with the newest developments and factory certifications. Spend more time on the water and less time at the shore. Get ready for summer fun now at Bob File Boats and Motors. Michael Getzinger, Drew Greninger, and Cruz Martinez due up here in the fourth. That was the same lineup back in the second here for Moses Lake as they lead at 1-0 over the Eastmont Wildcats. You're watching Big Nine Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel. Rain showers have moved through. Looks like clouds are kind of parting. We're dry for the moment.
Hopefully that remains.
Yes. Pitch on the way by Colin Bapst is low and away for ball one. To Getzinger, who is 0 for 1 after flying out to right field in his first at-bat on an 0-1 pitch back in the second.
We were just mentioning how good of a play that was by Getzinger there in the last half inning to get Jed out, or else that's a totally different inning.
Oh, absolutely. Because then you're still one out, and you put the game in motion at that point. You got two speedy guys on the base paths. Maybe you're bunting.
Yeah.
I mean, it just opens things up. This pitch is smacked hard.
Ooh,
and a beautiful play by Barrios out there in center field. That ball it looked like it was going to go to the fence no matter what.
Yes.
And it scooted on the grass, and Barrios was able to backhand the ball.
Skyler was doing a great job of hustling over there, but if that gets by him, that's at least a double, maybe a triple.
Absolutely. So one aboard on a base hit to lead off the fourth. And that's the first time in the ball game that Moses Lake has had the leadoff man aboard. That'll bring up center fielder Drew Greninger. And a toss to the bag at first, not in time. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Global Car Care. Your vehicle is their number one priority. Diesels and European cars are their specialty. They also have pickup and drop-off service available. Go to their website, globalcarcare.net. Another toss to the bag at first. Closer that time. Head first dive by Getzinger over there.
He went big arm, tried to throw hard over there. If he's got a quick hands, quick feet, he could get him on this one.
Yeah. Squaring the bunt is the batter. The runner from first goes, and the throw is a little late, and in at second with what turns out to be a stolen base is Getzinger.
Actually, that's a new runner for him.
Oh, okay.
Number 17.
Number 17. Okay, I've got their roster here that's soaking wet now.
That'd be Willem Jansen.
Okay, so Jansen in there running. I was just going to ask you about the rules for pitcher, catcher, and courtesy running.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, obviously no outs here, so you can do it for the pitcher at any point.
Correct.
Catcher has to be two outs. Oh, any point. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can have a guy that used to be on the track team and wanted to participate in baseball. Bring him out here.
Get him 10 practices. He's good to go.
That's right.
Now Darren Hoff is out there talking to the base umpire about that play out at the bag at second. It was close, I'll say. But shortstop Tice Llewellyn was kind of in on the grass a little bit and kind of had to backpedal back towards the bag to try to make that tag after the pitch was thrown to the plate. By the way, the 1-0 count here to Greninger. So Moses Lake with a runner in scoring position, and again squaring the bunt is Greninger. And the pitch on the way, he pulled the bat back, and that's a nervous moment for Jet Llewellyn, the first baseman, who was about 40 feet away from home plate.
Yeah, Donnie's probably just seeing what the third baseman's going to be doing on that. Is he going to be crashing? Because they'll do a fake bunt and run there, too.
Brandon's talking about Donnie Lindgren, the head coach for Moses Lake. Turnaround pickoff play and almost got him. Again, Jansen out there running at second base for Getzinger, who got aboard on a base hit to right center. Again, scoring the bunt, Greninger. First baseman comes in, and the pitch misses away for a ball. Well, it's been an interesting endeavor here for Colin Bapst in this ball game. We're in the fourth, and the second batter in every single inning so far has walked.
And there it goes again.
There it comes again. So runners at first and second base on the 5th walk of the game here by Babst.
Now we can be pretty much assured that this batter here is going to be bunting. He had a great at-bat the last time. Heimbigner made a great play on it to double him up. But I would assume he's going to be bunting here.
Yeah, with nobody out in a one-run ball game. And
yeah,
definitely so. And that's the thing, I watch the major leagues, and of course I'm a Mariner fan, and it drives me nuts when they don't bunt nearly as much as I think they should. This pitch is high and inside. A little chin music there for Martinez as he was squaring the bunt. 1-0 the count here to Cruz.
Well, and this is one of those rivalries, too, between Eastmont and Moses Lake, where it's going to be a tight game no matter what, so you're going to take your runs anyway
however you can get them. 1-0 pitch is low for a ball, and Colin probably needs to concentrate on the batters here.
Yeah, that's 6 straight for him. 6 straight balls.
Yes. Walk Greninger on 4 straight pitches. Now has gone 2-0 to Cruz Martinez, with Jansen at second, Greninger at first.
If you're playing against a team that is lower down in the league, then you may just let a kid swing away here. But when it's this
tossed down to the bag at second.
Oh, he got him.
Nice throw by Nate Whitehall on a pitch that was a called strike and caught stealing. 2-6 on the putout, so that's a big first out. And that erases the runner at second base. And a 2-1 count to Martinez.
It's always nice when you can get an out after you've thrown 6 straight balls.
Yeah, and a toss to the bag at first, not in time.
Kind of takes a lot of pressure off there of the pitcher.
I was trying to remember, I was talking to our crew about doing the broadcast out here today, and I forgot that there's lights here at this ballpark.
Yeah, we got those in. I can't remember what year it was. It was when we did the last bond here at the school.
Okay. 2-2 count as that pitch was taken for a strike. Good location on the outside corner by Colin Babst. Running from first holds. The pitch is high for ball 3.
Yeah, that's definitely a game changer, especially in the summertime when you're playing summer ball and start the doubleheader at 2 and just to get it done before.
Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Martinez wasn't happy with that call. It's a second out and a huge strikeout for Colin Babst. That's his 4th of the ball game.
Great job by Colin coming back there.
Well, Babst has had his issues today. I mean, he's had 5 walks. That matches his season in walks in one game so far.
5 walks and 4 strikeouts. So he's
it's hit or miss basically. I mean, it's. As far as the strike zone is concerned, this pitch swung on and chopped back over the mound to the second baseman. He'll field and throw, and that'll do it. So a good job by Colin Babst and the Eastmont defense, and give a big assist to Nate Whitehall in that process to get the outs and not surrender a run. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th, 1-0 Moses Lake. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35-plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
I believe we've been coming to Abby's for 56 years, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
56 years.
Remembering all the events as a family and a community that we spent at Abby's.
Excellent and delicious food at an affordable price. We're delighted that we live close enough to be able to be a frequent customer.
And we are.
And we are. In fact, we've got orders to bring home a giant pizza when we leave here tonight.
Baseball coverage on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you in part by Harvest Valley Pest Control. You can rest assured that Harvest Valley Pest Control uses kid and pet-safe material around your home or office. Call Harvest Valley Pest Control today for your free estimate at 509-423-2207. Due up for Eastmont, and they're part of the fourth. Colin Bapst, Kellen Leonard, and Skylar Bryant, the 5, 6, and 7 batters. Eastmont has had base runners today. In fact, they've left 4 on the base paths so far through 3 innings. See if they can get something going here in this fourth. The first pitch from Michael Getzinger misses outside for ball 1. 1-0. Bapst 0 for 1, hit into a double play with the bases loaded back in the first. That was a golden opportunity for Eastmont early. Fastball here misses away for ball 2.
You were mentioning about the lights. It made it great for summer ball because didn't have to start our doubleheaders at 2. We could start them at 5 and relieve a little bit of the heat for us.
Yeah, absolutely. This pitch misses away. Good eye by Bapst, and the count goes to 3-0.
I could see him taking a pitch here, try and get something going for him.
This pitch is a called strike by our home plate umpire, Jeff Levitt. 3-1 to count. John Steiner out on the base paths. Good to see him standing upright. He took a line drive right off the shin bone as he was umping down at first base in our first game of our doubleheader last week between Wenatchee and West Valley. And, I mean, he went down like a house of cards. And but I'll give him credit. He popped right back up, said, I'm good, let's go. This pitch swung on and fouled back, and the count now full to Bapst at 3-2. You know, you talk about summer ball, and I mean, you got varsity that we're watching here today. You got JV, you got C-team, you got all these games that you got to have umpired. And, of course, the problem continues with just officials.
That's
umpire
correct.
Crews, baseball, softball, it's, you know, soccer referees. It's all walks of life as far as the officials, and you are needed. This pitch swung on and hit hard to the right fielder, and backing up, and a nice play by Braden Anderson. Boy, we've had some good defensive plays here in this game. That's the first out in the fourth, and that'll bring up left fielder Kellen Leonard. But if you want to give back to your community, and you're looking for a way to do so, especially if you're a former athlete, if you played a sport, there's no better way for you to give back to your community than to officiate that sport that you love to play.
That's right. And, you know, the problem is they're much needed and underappreciated by every single fan out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, that's just it. I mean, you cast your dispersions at the people out there officiating the game, and, well, if you can do better, then strap it on and go do it yourself.
Right.
0-1 the count to Leonard after he fouled the first pitch off. And this pitch swung on a hit on a hop right to the third baseman. Martinez will field. The throw is a little bit wide, but a good job over there by Josh West, sprawling to corral it. So 5-3 on the putout. And that's something I've seen in the years that I've just been calling Moses Lake baseball here on the NCWLIFE Channel. They're always very good fundamentally. It seems. Defensive, they're just, you know, those kind of plays, they just make it happen.
Yes. Yeah, and like I said, Donnie, he's always been a really good coach. He's used to coach for Big Bend, and so he's had the college experience. And Coach Hoff used to coach for Wenatchee Valley.
That's right.
Back in the day. He was the first coach at Wenatchee Valley when they brought baseball back.
1-0 pitch here, swung on a chop, foul up the third baseline, and the count even now to Skylar Bryant at 1-1.
Yeah, so they both have kids doing things fundamentally correct, which is good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where it starts. And you see that, you know, if you go to a varsity event and it's whatever sport, doesn't matter. If your varsity program is struggling, then that means there's not coaching going on at the lower levels where it all starts. And that's where all the fundamentals starts. And you see that throughout. This pitch is high and inside for a ball. 2-1 to count to Skylar Bryant. It's 0 for 1, grounded to short back in the second.
That's another thing that we always focused on was first part of practice, we would do a lot of fundamental drills just to make sure that you're getting your hands and feet ready. And, you know, because fielding the ground ball is not just fielding the ground ball. You know, people say charge a ball. Well, you have to know how to charge a ball and do things correctly. And I learned a lot of that when I was playing down at Yakima Valley. I had a really good coach down there, George Benedetti, and we would come in an hour before practice and work out for infielders pretty much every day. We'd be out there hour before everybody else showed up. And
I mean, it's, and you know, if you're a fan of any sport, you watch the professional level. As the 2-2 pitch is a check swing, taking it high for ball 3. They're going to appeal, but the umpire says no, he did not go. So the count runs full to Bryant at 3-2. But you watch the professional level, And the best players, what do they say? It's all about practice. It's all about the little details. It's all about the fundamentals and working and working and working and working on that. And that all starts here. I mean, it starts when you're, playing Little League.
Exactly. And that's the thing that's underappreciated as well, is the time commitment that the professional athletes put in. Yes, they are the elite athletes in the world, but they
only got there because they put in the work.
Right. Yes.
So Nate Whitehall steps up after a walk to Bryant. 2 outs, 1 aboard, and this pitch bounces in, and a nice stop by the catcher. Boy, we've seen some good catching in this one on both sides. Blaine McDonald with a catch there. Yeah, the count 1-0 to Whitehall, who is 1 for 1 with a base hit to right in the second. Runner holds. The pitch misses outside for ball 2, and as there's a discussion on the mound, Michael Getzinger has not necessarily been right over the plate with every batter here. So Eastmont could kind of work the count a little bit.
Right. Yeah, and like you said, get him up in the pitch count.
Right.
That's a thing that they put into play in the last couple of years, was the pitch count in high school level. It used to be innings pitched.
Well, and I love that they've done that.
I do too.
I mean, because it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, because it was unfortunate. You have a kid come out and throw 1 pitch, and it counts as an inning.
Right.
Or he throws 75 pitches, and it counts as an inning.
An inning, right. 1-1 to count here, and the pitch swung on a hit foul up the third baseline, and the count goes to 2-1.
I think the year that came into play, there was a kid from over by Montesano area, and he would throw the last 3 innings of the first game, and then come out and start the second game and pitch. And he was a really good pitcher, but they would have him close the
runner
first.
From first goes. The throw down to second base is not in time. Stolen base for Bryant.
They'd have him close the first, which allowed him to pitch in the second game, and he could pitch as much as he wanted in the second game. And that just meant that he had to have rest after that day. But he was pitching in both games, and there was one game where he closed out the first one, and then the second game went into 11 innings or something, and he pitched all 11 innings. So the saving the life of a kid's arm is super important.
Sure, absolutely. So Whitehall gets aboard with a 2-out walk. Back-to-back walks given up by Getzinger. And we have a courtesy runner coming out to first base to run, and that is Jace Travato again. So Travato will run. Eastmont with a little 2-out opportunity here, as the game is a 1-0 contest. But they'll have a discussion with Getzinger on the mound. Our broadcast here brought to you in part by Highlander Golf Course and Grill. Plan your next tournament and event today. Call the Pro Shop. Schedule your time on the course, or you could just schedule your time in their full swing S4 widescreen golf simulators. Those are fun. Besides swinging a golf club, they got games. You can play football, hockey, all that type of stuff. 509-884-4653 is the number to call for Highlander Golf Course and Grill. And again, you get a chance to stop by any of these locations that we talk about that sponsor the broadcast. That helps me. We don't do it. We don't do it if we don't have those sponsors. So you stop by Highlander and say, hey, by the way, thanks for doing sports on NCWLIFE. That's pretty cool. So Carter Heimbegner steps up, and the first pitch to him is swung on and hit foul at the third base side, and they go count 0-1. Heimbegner, who hit into a fielder's choice to end the second, to the shortstop. 0-1 here with runners at first and second. And the pitch by Getzinger is swung on a miss. 0-2 quickly. Getzinger in front of Heimbegner after the coaching staff came out and had a little meeting of the minds on the mound. Bryant at second. Travato at first for Eastmont. Trailing at 1-0. This pitch taken high. Good eye by Heimbegner, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes.
If they run this count deep, I could foresee Moses Lake trying to do a little pickoff play somewhere. See if they could catch a runner sleeping.
Swung on a miss, so that'll do it for Eastmont's rally here in the fourth. They leave 2 aboard. We will head to the fifth. Moses Lake 1, Eastmont 0. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing. and cut high-energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
So number 9, 1, and 2 do it for Moses Lake in their 5th inning of play, leading at 1-0 over Eastmont, as it'll be Jay Stewart, Braden Anderson, and Blaine McDonald do up here in the 5th for the Mavericks. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. No runs, 4 hits, no errors for Eastmont. First pitch here is a little high for ball 1. 1-0 the counts.
It's an important guy for Colin to go after right here. Make him put the ball in play and get an out here to start the inning.
The 1-0 pitch misses outside for ball 2. Yeah, Baps has had kind of an interesting endeavor today. He's got 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. In fact, it was Stewart that got aboard on a 1-out walk back in the 3rd and came around to score on a base hit, or actually a ground out to the infield by Zane Harden. Is that called a ball?
Yeah, I think it's 3-0.
Yeah, okay. Scoreboard's not matching what we've got here at the plate, and this is a strike on the inside corner to Jay Stewart. So Stewart looking for his first official at-bat. He does have a run, the only run of the ball game so far. The 3-1 pitch is swung on a miss. Count runs full here to Stewart at 3-2.
Tucker still got the count back in the car back there.
Well, on the hat count, yeah, I kind of dropped off at 13, so I kind of left it at that. This pitch swung on a chop slowly. Tough play for third base. Singleton there. The throw is in time. Wow.
That's a great play right there. Not just 1 to get the out, but 2 to get that leadoff hitter. You know, he came up and, like you said, scored in the 3rd inning on a walk, and he can run. So makes it nice to.
Well, and he was beating feet up the first baseline. That was a heck of a throw by Singleton across the diamond to get him out. So 1 out here, and Braden Anderson steps up and a hop right to Singleton. The throw is dug out nicely over at first by Jet Llewellyn. So a good 5-3 put out for the second out. 2 in a row for Mr. Singleton over there at third base.
And there again is where you like to have an athlete at first base. That was a great pick by Jet.
It was. Low throw. Singleton, after collecting the ball, kind of was like, oh my gosh, okay, I got it. Now I got to throw, and now I have time to do it. And sometimes that's the worst thing.
That is the worst.
For a player, is to have time, and then you kind of double clutch is what Singleton did there, and threw low, but a nice pick over there by Llewellyn at first base. First pitch to McDonald misses inside. That 1-0 pitch is swung on and hit hard, and it'll drop down in front of Barrios out there in right center. So he was positioned well. It's just the ball sunk in, and a nice swing and hit by McDonald. That's his 2nd in a row. And that'll bring up Zane Harden. Harden's 0 for 2. He struck out in the 1st and grounded out in the 3rd. His ground out to second baseman Carter Llewellyn scored the only run for Moses Lake in the game. That's where we are right now, 1-0 still, with 2 down here in the 5th and a runner aboard. Colin Babst trying to negotiate his way through another frame here for the Wildcats. He'll toss over to the bag at first. Close, but not quite. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Kennedy Real Estate Group. They're more than selling houses. They're building communities. If you're buying or selling, call Kennedy Real Estate Group. Find them online at KENADYGroup.com. Runner from first with a lead. The pitch is low for a ball. 1-0 the count to Harden.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, they really have the shift on this kid.
Yeah, the outfield is moved way over for the left-handed bat of Zane Harden.
You know, I like that rule change that they've made in the major leagues this year.
Yes, absolutely.
Making people stay on the correct side of the base.
Yeah, so the infield cannot do the shift like they've done in the past, and that's new this year, where they've wiped out that opportunity. But we've seen some of the teams kind of use the shift in the outfield, almost similar to what Eastmont's doing right now. But I've even seen left fielder move clear over to center and be right of the second base bag.
You know, with as good a back control as those guys have.
Oh, I know.
I don't understand.
Well, and how the shift they defeat the shift with being able, I mean, you have the whole left side of the infield open. This pitch is grounded right to the first baseman. So I'll doff the cap to the groundskeeper here because that was a true roll that stayed true.
Yes.
That was good.
Those are the worst, though, where you know it's going to hop.
3 unassisted on the putout, so a man left here on a base hit for Moses Lake. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. 1-0 your score. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
We were in Roseburg in the early 80s. Our oldest son, Dan, was a defensive back, a starter on that team. They in fact, became Oregon State champions, setting the first undefeated 14-0 season in Oregon's history. And a lot of people were losing jobs. Friends had left the community. It was a hard time. That football team, in companies like Abby's, kept that place alive and the community spirit alive. That's legendary.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
Top of the order due up for Eastmont here at the bottom of the 5th. Tice Llewellyn, Valente Barrios, and Jet Llewellyn. Number 1, 2, 3 here for Eastmont as they trail Moses Lake 1-0. The two teams met earlier this week at Larson Playfield, and it was the Mavericks coming out on top 5-2, and that would have handed Eastmont their first loss in the Big 9 schedule. Eastmont's only had one non-league game so far this year. That was against Woodinville, a 3-2 loss.
They actually played against Ephrata as well.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And it was a win, big win. So a couple of 1-1 in the non-league portion of the schedule. So Eastmont 5-2 overall coming into today. Pitch to Llewellyn, 1 ball, 1 strike. Hey, thank you. Now that's a line producer there. This pitch swung on and hit right back through the feet, and it's going to be an infield base hit. Zane Harden, the second baseman, came in, and he and the shortstop had to watch out that they didn't run into each other.
I think if he stays on his feet there, I think that's still a base hit.
Yeah,
Tice
absolutely.
is running pretty well down the first base line.
Yep. Ball that skipped right underneath the feet of Getzinger, the pitcher. So the leadoff man aboard here for Eastmont, and that's the first time in the ball game they've had the leadoff man aboard, and that's a big one here as they trail it 1-0. Barrios steps up. And he'll square to bunt, and Getzinger will step off the rubber.
Yeah, I would assume that they will either bunt or hit and run here, or I wouldn't see a straight steal early in the count, but maybe if we get deeper in the count.
1-1 pitch, or excuse me, the first pitch is bunted up the first baseline. Good bunt by Barrios. A flip to the bag to Harden, the second baseman, covering. So that'll be 3-4 on the putouts on the sacrifice bunt. And down to second base goes Llewellyn, so scoring position here for Eastmont.
It's a great job by Valente there, getting it down the first baseline. You know, whenever you have a runner at first base, you always want to get it down the first baseline. Second base, you want to get it down the third baseline, make that third baseman commit here, but I would not foresee Jet bunting here.
Llewellyn is 1 for 2 in the ball game. This pitch swung on, and a line drive to left field for a base hit. Left fielder quickly comes up to the ball, and so down to third goes Llewellyn. So you've got the brothers on the corners here. And no doubt about that swing by Jet Llewellyn. That'll bring up third baseman Michael Singleton, who's 1 for 2 with a base hit to center. And we'll have a discussion out on the mound here.
It looks like we've got number 11 coming into the game for Moses
so a pitching
Lake.
change will be made. So with the pitching change, we will take a 60-second break and come back. We're in the 5th inning of play. Eastmont threatening with 1 down. We'll come back, tell you who the new pitcher is, and get you set for the next at bat. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
At Prestige Senior Living, we celebrate life at every age. From our cognitive and fall reduction programs to our focus on life enrichment and wellness, we help our residents maintain independence while nurturing mind, body, and spirit. Residents also enjoy a wide variety of amenities and services, including restaurant quality dining, housekeeping, a full calendar of events, and so much more. To learn more or to schedule a tour, visit us at prestigecare.com or call the number on your screen. We can't wait to show you around.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
So new pitcher taking over on the mound is senior Caden Valdez. Valdez, right-hander, will now pitch for Moses Lake. On the base paths for the Wildcats as Eastmont has a chance to break through here with 2 aboard and 1 down, and Michael Singleton ready to step to the plate. And well, Coach, runners on the corners, got a lot of speed on the base paths.
Yes, you
and
do.
And Singleton, a guy who could make contact at the plate.
Yeah.
You just hope for a base hit here, or do you try to put the game in motion again?
You know, with the way that Michael's been swinging it this year, I think I'm going to be hoping for a base hit here. Well,
even a fly ball. You got a runner at third and less than 2 outs, so you get a sac fly.
Yes. Yeah, maybe if he gets deep in the count, like I've mentioned, maybe send Jed on
down to second.
Yeah,
sure.
If we can get an off-speed count, the worst thing to happen would be have Jet go early, get thrown out, and Tice not advance on the play.
Umpire Blaine McDonald comes from behind home plate and motions to the infield here. And infield on double play depth for the time being as Singleton steps up, and the first pitch to him bounces in for a ball, and staying at first is Llewellyn.
Another great job by the catcher there. Like you've mentioned earlier, the catchers are doing a great job behind the plate
both
today.
sides here. As McDonald's able to drop down in his stance and block that ball and keep it from getting past him. 1-0 the count to Singleton. This pitch is swung on and missed, and the pitch a little outside. 1-1 the count here to Michael, who had a base hit to center in the first and struck out in the third. 1 of 2 strikeouts of the ball game for Michael Getzinger. This pitch is bunted up the first baseline.
Safety squeeze.
Beautiful play, and everybody's going to be safe on the bunt single by Michael Singleton. How about that?
Yeah, that was a little safety squeeze there. Just get the bunt down, and Tice was not running on the play, so just try and get it down the first baseline, and Tice reads it down and scores there.
So
Great
give an
execution.
RBI to Singleton. The game is now tied. Eastmont still batting here with Colin Babst at the plate. Pitch to the plate, swung on, popped up in the infield, and this is going to be an out, and everybody holds. So a pop out to the first baseman for the second out. Babst not happy with the results of that swing, and that'll bring up Kellen Leonard. Leonard is 0 for 2 with a ground out to the pitcher and to the third baseman. Pitch goes off the catcher's mask, and everybody's going to advance 90 feet on a wild pitch.
Nothing the catcher can do on that play there.
Absolutely not. That bounced, about a foot in front of home plate?
Yeah, 59-foot fastball.
1-0 the count to Leonard here, and if Kellen can get a base hit here, probably score 2. Pitch is swung on and fouled, and the count even now to Leonard at 1 ball and 1 strike.
That was a scary little play right there. I don't think the coach over here saw that coming at him.
The 1-1 pitch is low and away for a ball. Again, second pitcher of the game for Moses Lake, Caden Valdez relieving Michael Getzinger here. This pitch swung on a hit, just foul up the first baseline by about 9 inches.
And as you can see, like you mentioned, Michael Singleton's moving on the swing, and he would have scored easily.
Absolutely. He was standing at the bag at third just about as the ball went past the bag at first. 2-2 count to Leonard. Take a step out of the batter's box. Collect his breath here. Valdez ready, and the pitch to the plate is a curveball. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. So Eastmont gets a run, but they leave 2 big ones. We'll head to the 6th, all tied at 1. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hello, television family. Grab your cup of coffee each weekday morning and join me. I'm Dan Kuntz, the host of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's everything you need to start your day. We're live and we're local at 7 a.m. every weekday on the NCWLIFE Channel.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? With today's home values, this is the perfect time to sell and make those dreams real. When you work with a world-class agent at Coldwell Banker, you benefit from trusted guidance and our revolutionary seller's assurance program to make your home sale more rewarding than ever. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams.
Josh West, Michael Getzinger, and Drew Greninger due up here for Moses Lake, and they're part of the 6th. All tied at 1, along with Brandon Schmitten. I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel, as Josh West will lead it off. He's had a couple of fly ball outs to the outfield so far. He's 0 for 2, and the first pitch by Colin Bapst is a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count to Josh West. Well, it'd be good for Colin Bapst to get through an inning here without getting base runners. He's had base runners every single frame so far. This pitch is a little bit low, kind of a feint of a swing by West, but he holds back the count even at 1-1 strike. Nice little visit by your kid there.
Yeah, it's always nice to see him out here. Remember when he was a little kid and the bat boy for us when I was the head coach, and now he's up playing on the JV program. And
that's great.
Yeah.
Pitch missed inside to West, 2-1 to count. It's Bapst ready, and the delivery swung on and fouled away, and the count even now at 2-2 strikes. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Les Schwab. Les Schwab takes your safety seriously every time you stop by. Also by Sangster Motors, family-owned and operated, home of the all-new electric Hummer pickup and SUV. This pitch swung on and hit on a hop right to the shortstop. Over is Llewellyn. He'll field and throw, and it's in time to get the out. A well-played game defensively on both sides of the field here, all the way around.
Yeah.
I mean, just a good ball game. I mean, thus the score 1-1.
Right.
So Getzinger was replaced as the pitcher, and we were having this discussion before the game about a DH/pitcher, and it must be a new rule this year, because in the past, if you had a pitcher that batted in the order and you took him out as a pitcher, then he could no longer bat, right?
Correct. Yeah, and this goes back to the rule of shifting and stuff like that.
Right.
It seems like no sport can keep the same rules for a year. They have to make a change.
It's sometimes change for the sake of change.
Right, yeah.
But it does make sense. You get a good athlete who is your pitcher, who's a good hitter, then that kind of costs you offensively if you take him out defensively.
Yeah, and, this could be, I don't know the reasoning behind this, but just seeing this rule today, I could assume that it could be for the sake of a kid's arm again. We've talked about that earlier. The last thing you want to do is have a kid come out here and throw 85 pitches and then put him in right field to keep him in the lineup and have to come up in the springtime in Washington and make a hard throw. And
And then your arm's already tired, and then you make that throw, and then boop, there it is.
Yeah.
Curveball in for a strike here, so a good job by Bapst, who was behind 3-0, who's now worked it full 3-2 to Getzinger.
Unfortunately, not every team has a Shohei Ohtani.
He is something else.
Oh, man.
3-2 the count to Getzinger, and Bapst's pitch is low for ball 4.
Now we'll see here. This is going to be interesting because now that he's no longer the pitcher, he will have to have not a courtesy runner but a pinch runner come in for him.
Okay, so that is happening as we speak because Adrian Martinez comes out to run at first base, and here is the lineup change being told to the catcher or to the umpire here. So Yeah, interesting you point that out.
Yeah. So what this has effectively done is taken the DH out of the game, so now he'll be able to re-enter in high school. You can re-enter back into your same spot in the lineup, where in the major leagues, as soon as you come out of the game, you're done.
So we're meeting on the mound here as the game is tied at 1. Drew Hoff coming out and talking to Colin Baps. Looks like he's going to make a pitching change. And so with the pitching change made, or no, are they?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
So
we'll take a break and come back and tell you about the pitching change, get you ready for the next at bat. It's the top of the 6th inning with 1 out and 1 on for Moses Lake in a 1-1 ball game. We're back next here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
The newest generation of GMC Sierra pickups offer the most advanced technology, the strongest selection of powertrain, and everything else you need to work hard, play hard, and explore the boundaries of the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. Take a look at the latest, most luxurious and durable trucks on the market.
You will see why GMC is not your grandfather's pickup.
You want to bet, kid?
All right. We had a bunch of defensive changes here for Eastmont. Coming into pitch will be Michael Singleton. Colin Baps, the pitcher, will move out to right field. Skylar Bryant, the right fielder, will move to first base. And Jet Llewellyn, the first baseman, will go across the diamond to play third. So hopefully you got all that. Meanwhile, it is a one-on, one-out situation for Drew Greninger. Center fielder for Moses Lake is still trying to get his first official at bat. He's walked twice, and the first pitch here is in for a strike from Michael Singleton. 0-1 the count. Singleton on the season with a 0 earned run average. Gonna love that to come out of your bullpen in quotes. 0-1 the count. And the pitch is swung on and missed. He was out in front of that. The count quickly 0-2 on Drew Greninger. Singleton making his third appearance. He's actually started a game. He's 1-0 coming in. Has just allowed 1 hit so far in his innings of work. Swing and a miss here, and that's a big out for Eastmont's defense and for Singleton. And that's his first strikeout, second out of the inning, and brings up third baseman Cruz Martinez.
Yeah, he dropped down
or
on that one.
Or will it be? I think we're going to get somebody else to come in and hit here.
Yes, you're correct. He dropped down a little bit on that pitch, made it look a little bit
sweeper,
different for that. Yeah.
Is that 26 or 20? Let's see.
20.
20. Okay. So coming into bat is Cooper Hancock. So he will bat for Cruz Martinez with 1 on and 2 outs. The pitch to the plate is swung on and missed. 0-1. And that pitch low. Singleton coming over the top on that one. And you get a pinch hitter here, and he's trying to be aggressive in the at-bat. The runner for first goes. The pitch is outside and low. The throw down to second base, not in time.
He definitely stole that off the pitcher there.
Yeah.
He had a really good jump.
So a runner in scoring position with 2 down for Moses Lake. And the count even here to Hancock at 1-1. Yeah.
Nate didn't even stand a chance there.
No, and a pitch outside, and he had to stay down on a knee to field it.
Yeah. You know, that's often a stat that people look at as stolen bases on the catcher. Well, what they don't understand is if the pitcher takes a long time going to the plate, then it's really not anything the catcher can do about it.
Couple of pitches missed outside here for Singleton. And a turnaround throw to second base is not in time. Looked like the tag was a little bit high on the arm As the runner out there reached back for the bag. Martinez out there running the base paths. This pitch is low for ball 4. Or no, balk. A balk was called before the pitch. Base umpire John Steiner called a balk. So down to third goes Martinez. And that was a no pitch to the plate. So it's 3-1 remaining. And who knows, that could be a good thing.
Yeah, get the shortstop and second baseman to concentrate on nothing but the ball here.
Swing and a miss, and the count runs full at 3-2 to Cooper Hancock.
You know, it gets them to be in their position. Oftentimes we'll say, hey, play your spot, just meaning to.
Strike 3 called on the inside corner, and he dropped down with that one as well. So a good job in relief here by Singleton, and he will get the out on the strikeout. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning, all tied at 1. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
Hey man, how's your arm?
Getting better, actually, thanks.
Did they give you anything for pain after surgery? Because I think I may have some left over.
Nah, that's all right, man. Actually, me and my doctor talked about not sharing prescriptions, and that ibuprofen is a good option for me. The risk of addiction, it's not worth it.
Makes sense.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions, and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
All tied at 1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th, scheduled for 7 first of 2 games here on the NCWLIFE Channel between the Eastmont Wildcats and the Moses Lake Mavericks. What a good one. Glad you could tune in here this afternoon. Skylar Bryant leads it off here for the Wildcats. It started off in the 6th. Nate Whitehall and Carter Heimbigner due up as well to face the reliever Caden Valdez. And the first pitch is across for a called strike. The count 0-1. On Skylar Bryant. Close the book on Michael Getzinger. Goes 4 1/3, allowed a run on 6 hits. 6 hits, 2 strikeouts, 3 walks. 0-2 quickly the count here on Bryant.
This pitcher here is doing exactly what you want as a relief pitcher. Come in and throw strikes.
The 0-2 pitch is a sweeping curveball missing outside for ball 1. 1-2 the count. Along with Brandon Schmitten, Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE Channel this afternoon, coming to you from Dan White Field. The 1-2 pitch swung on a miss. So a couple of strikeouts already in relief here for Caden Valdez. That's the first out here of this inning. And his second K in relief. And that'll bring up Nate Whitehall, who is 1 for 1 in the game with a base hit to right. He walked in his last plate appearance in the 4th. Big, tall, strapping right-handed batter takes the first pitch for a strike. 0-1 the count. Well, like you said, he's just throwing strikes.
Yeah.
Said, okay, here it is. Trying to hit it.
You know, and as you've mentioned, the defense behind.
This pitch swung on and hit to the right side and right at Josh West. So I know, surprise, surprise, another good defensive play here by both teams in this contest. So a line out to first is the second out. That'll bring up second baseman Carter Heimbigner.
Yeah, when you have such good defense behind you, the worst thing to do is sit there and walk guys.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Swing and a miss by Heimbigner, who is 0 for 2 in the game. Hit into a fielder's choice to the shortstop in the second, struck out swinging in the 4th. This pitch misses away for ball 1.
And as an infielder, too, that's what you want to see, is you want to see a guy throwing strikes, because the last thing you want to do is see ball. Then your mind starts to wander.
Oh, right. Pitch was a strike called on the inside corner, so it's count now quickly 1-2 on Heimbigner with 2 down And the pitch is fisted off to the right side of the infield. Second baseman Over will field to his left and throw. And it's in time. Harden to West on the put out to the 1-2-3 story for Eastmont here in the 6th. To the 7th we go. Still tied 1-1. You're watching Big 9 baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
We were in Roseburg in the early 80s. Our oldest son, Dan, was a defensive back, a starter on that team. They in fact, became Oregon State champions, setting the first undefeated 14-0 season in Oregon's history. And our kids still talk about that. I go back now, too, and I think about all those great days and great times. The neat thing is that we can go back in today and still enjoy the same quality food that we enjoyed 50 years ago. That's legendary.
I had a seizure in the middle of the night, and they rushed me to the hospital and decided to induce labor to try to get the baby out. The outpouring of love and support I got from Confluence Health. My coworkers coming to the ICU to be with me. For me, it's the work family. It's just incredible to have support no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, my own health.
Number 8, 9, and 1 batters do it for Moses Lake, and they're part of the 7th as we're tied at 1-1. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Save Mart. Shop smart, shop local, providing outstanding value and service since 1962. Jackson Carlos, Jay Stewart, and Braden Anderson, the lineup due up here for the Mavericks. Michael Singleton continues to pitch, and the first pitch is swung on and missed, and the count 0-1 on Carlos, who is 0 for 2, and you were talking in the break about the lineup differences you have Eastmont versus Moses Lake here in the 7th inning.
Yes. Yeah, with Moses Lake now they're 8-9-1, but this puts them in a good situation here actually because you got your number 9 hitter, typically a guy that can handle the bat on a bunt, but then Eastmont comes up and you're going to go 1-2-3, which is where exactly you want to start your lineup. So, but as I said, sometimes things don't always work out exactly how they're supposed to.
Hit by a pitch was Carlos, so he's down at first base. And it'll be Jay Stewart stepping up. He's 0 for 1, but he walked and scored Moses Lake's only run back in the 3rd inning. He grounded out to 3rd back in the 5th. Got a new third baseman over there for Eastmont at Jet Llewellyn. And he'll square to bunt. Llewellyn comes running in, and a toss to the bag at first, and didn't get into the glove of Skylar Bryant, but thankfully for Eastmont, it hit the runner over there, so it doesn't go anywhere. Singleton ready. Scoring to bunt again is Stewart. Pitch to the plate is high, and he takes it for ball 1.
Now, if you're Jet right here, you want to be careful because they showed the slash earlier, and if you come in out of control, you can see guy pull back, which is illegal in the major leagues, but in high school it's still a legal play.
Want to know the count to Stewart. We should mention this, too, that toss to the bag at first, not in time. Quite a few teams, not a lot of the teams, but quite a few teams are using a similar armband, if you will, like in professional football where the quarterback's got the armband on. These players have a band that's down on their belt buckle, and the coach just gives a number, and that corresponds with something on the sheet that they have on what kind of play they want to run, right?
Exactly.
Instead of going through the gyrations of the ear and the nose and, you know, the signs down in the third base coach's box.
That's correct. So Kashmir was the first team that I remember doing that in with Jeff Carlson, and they had 1,000 numbers on the band, and one was colored green, and that was a hit and run. One was colored yellow, and that was bunt. And so they could just number any number, and every game they would switch out the bands, whether it be band A, B, C, or D.
1-1 pitch here is a bunt up the first baseline, but foul, and that's a big strike. And the count now 1-2 here on Jay Stewart.
Yeah, we'll see if Coach Lindgren puts the bunt on again here.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Yeah, it's always interesting, though, because, you know, if he fouls this off,
then it's
strike
3.
Out. Yeah,
absolutely. So 1-2 to count, and we'll see if Eastmont decides to toss over to the bag at first again to keep Carlos close to the bag. Carlos with a short lead at first, and they will throw that way.
And it looks like he is bunting here.
Yeah. So they kind of showed their hand a little bit, did Moses Lake. And sometimes you want your pitcher to throw over to first to get them to show what they're going to do. So Stewart squares to bunt again, bunts it.
Oh, great play by Michael.
Caught by Singleton. Tossed to the bag at first. Double play for Eastmont. And what a play by the pitcher to come off the mound after throwing the pitch, being able to catch the bunt popped up back to him.
Yeah, that's a huge play right there for Eastmont. And again, going back to, the kid's unsuccessful twice. Do you let him try and swing and see what happens? But that's always a difficult situation for everybody in the mix on that one.
Fly ball to right center, and under it is Barrios, and so that'll retire the order for Moses Lake. 1, 2, 3 as it turns out. And we'll head to the bottom of the 7th inning in a 1-1 ball game and what's turned out to be a sun-splashed afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the NCWLIFE Channel. We'll be right back.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Getting ready for the boating season is easy with the help of Bob File Boats and Motors. Now's the time of year to upgrade your boat from a new motor, a bow mount, installing a state-of-the-art GPS fish finder, or just fixing your trailer lights. Make your appointment today. With marine technology changing fast, the service department stays up to date with the newest developments and factory certifications. Spend more time on the water and less time at the shore. Get ready for summer fun now at Bob File Boats and Motors. Well, here we go. It is the bottom of the 7th inning, tied at 1-1, and Eastmont just wants to get a base runner aboard. Tice Llewellyn will start it off against Caden Valdez, and the first pitch is taken right down the middle for a strike. 0-1 the count to Tyson. Tice is 1 for 3 in the ball game. Ground out to line out and a base hit, and he scored Eastmont's only run. This pitch swung on and hit off the end of the bat to the shortstop. He gobbles it up and throws, and it is in time. Good play by Jay Stewart out there at short. Not an easy play to make, and he does. So 1 out here for Eastmont brings up center fielder Valente Barrios.
Before in a break we had, I was mentioning how many pitches Tice is seeing, and that first pitch looked awful good. But the last thing you want to do is make an out on the first pitch of an inning.
Yeah.
So
Barrios takes the first pitch here, strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count to Valente, who is 1 for 1 in the ball game. This pitch is hit on the ground to the third baseman, and he wanted to say he was catching it in the air, but the home plate umpire said no, that's fair ball, so he has to throw over and throw off a little bit, but Josh West able to make the tag. So turns out to be a 5-3 putout, but a little interesting endeavor.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of confusion on that by the third baseman, umpire, and Valente himself. He didn't sprint down the line there, and actually the third baseman had a little errant throw that could have been close play had he sprinted down the line. But
Jet Llewellyn steps in, takes the first pitch inside for a ball. 1-0 the count. As Valdez continues to work in relief, and this pitch is a taken strike, and the count even here to Llewellyn at 1 ball and 1 strike. I'll give credit to Valdez. He's done well in relief here for the Mavericks. This pitch swung on and fouled into the screen on the first base side, so the count a ball and 2 strikes. Our broadcast brought to you by Together for Youth, encouraging you to dispose of unused and expired prescriptions to protect youth and the environment. Find a kiosk at medproject.org. 1-2 pitch, swung on a hit to the left side of the infield. Back on it is the shortstop, and the throw to first is in time, dug out nicely by Josh West.
That was a great play.
So it's a 1-2-3 story in the 7th, and we have extra innings here in the first game of our doubleheader. Head to the 8th, all tied at 1. You're watching Big Nine Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located in East Wenatchee. Highlander Golf Course has added 2 state-of-the-art full swing simulators. Food and drink service is available from our full-service bar and grill, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Call Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So it's right here.
During our spring tire sale, we watch out for your wallet too. Save up to $175 when you buy select tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires.
Well, it's such a nice Friday afternoon on spring break. We're going to play extras in our first game of the doubleheader. 1-1 tie as we head to the top of the 8th inning. Here on the NCWLIFE Channel, Blaine McDonald, Zane Harden, and Josh West, the order due up for Moses Lake. Well, we talked about top of the order advantage for Eastmont in their part of the 7th. Well, now the flip the scale here for Moses Lake.
Yes, definitely. And
the leadoff man has got 2 hits in the game.
Yeah, and he can run.
Yeah, and he's got 2 of their 3 hits, by the way. As Eastmont's pitching staff has done a pretty good job. Their defense has played exceptionally here in this ball game. First pitch by Singleton is swung on and chopped back towards the shortstop. On a hop there is Llewellyn.
Good
throw
pick.
to first base is picked out nicely by Skylar Bryant. And 6-3 on the putout. So 1 out here in the 8th, and that'll bring up second baseman Zane Harden.
That goes back to a conversation that we were just having. That was the first pitch of the inning there. Tice Llewellyn, as I had mentioned, he sees a lot of pitches, and he looked at a pitch right down the middle of the plate where, make the pitcher throw strikes. And fortunately for the Wildcats, Blaine came out, swung at first pitch, and had a ground ball. So,
and different philosophies, and it also probably has everything to do with who's at the plate.
Yes.
And their capability, their ability. So even if you get behind with a strike, no big deal.
Right.
Kid can still hit.
Yeah. And like we said, Tice sees a lot of pitches.
Right.
That's his mentality going into it.
Well, Singleton ahead in the count here, 0-2, and this sweeping ball doesn't curve and stays outside for a ball. 1-2 the count. 1 out here in the 8th. My wife asks me all the time. She says, okay, well, you've got baseball tonight. What time are you going to be home? This pitch popped up to the infield. And coming in is Jet Llewellyn, and he'll make the catch for the out. So a pop out in the infield to third base. So second out here in the 8th inning. I said, honey, there's no time limit on baseball.
And there's no temperature.
Right.
That's consistent.
Yeah. No.
You can go from 110 to 30.
As we saw doing softball here a couple weeks ago at Sterling Fourplex. 2 down here in the 8th brings up Josh West. Josh is 0 for the day so far with a couple of flyouts to the outfield and a ground out to the shortstop in his last plate appearance. He takes ball 1-1-0 the count.
Nice thing about basketball is 70 and sunny every single day.
Yep, always indoors. Pitch misses inside, almost clipped West. So the count now 2-0 in the batter's favor. Michael Singleton working in relief of Colin Babst, who went 5 1/3. This pitch is fouled off, and the count goes to 2-1. Babst gave up a run on 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, 6 walks, and that is what hurt him as that walk came around to score for Moses Lake back in the 3rd inning. And they've been held in check ever since, however. The 2-1 pitch here is inside for ball 3.
That's the first time we've seen him go sidearm there when it wasn't a strikeout pitch.
Over to his right to field is Bryant, and he'll toss to the bag, and Singleton had his right foot skip off the first base bag, but he was holding the ball as he did so. So that'll be a 3-1 on the putout and a 1-2-3 story for Moses Lake. And that turns out to be 2 innings in a row. They've been retired in order. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th, still tied at 1 here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hi, folks. Welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chair on the other side. We can lift this up.
Great. I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service
chose a career at Confluence Health because I wanted to help people, and I knew there would be opportunities for growth. I started as a medical assistant, but quickly advanced in my career. I received 5 promotions in only 7 years, 3 of those in management roles. Most organizations don't offer that type of growth. Now, as a career pathway coordinator, I let everyone know. Come join Confluence Health. Come grow with us.
So due up here in the bottom of the 8th for Eastmont, it'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, Michael Singleton, Colin Babst, and Kellen Leonard. The order due up for the Wildcats in a 1-1 ball game, extra innings here this afternoon on the NCWLIFE Channel. What a game this has turned out to be. Glad you could come along with us. Singleton steps up. The first pitch to him swung on and a fly ball to right field. And Anderson, kind of an adventure out there, will make the catch for the out. I don't know if he saw it very well off the bat because he kind of held his stance and then started sweeping over to his left for 1 pitch, 1 out. Well, you talked about the approach and seeing pitches or going for it. I think what we've seen from Valdez is that he's throwing strikes, so get up there and get ready to hit.
Yeah.
Colin Babst steps up. This pitch is a fastball, and he swings and misses. 0-1 to count to Babst. Looking for his first hit in the ball game. He hit into a double play to end the first to the shortstop. He flew out to right and popped out to the first baseman at his last plate appearance, and he takes strike 2. Again, Jeff Levitt behind home plate. John Steiner out on the base paths, our umpiring crew this afternoon. And the 0-2 pitch is taken high. 1-2 the count to Babst.
You know, both of the starting pitchers had great games, but the guys in relief are throwing equally as well.
Stellar relief here. This pitch swung on a hit on a line drive right to the shortstop. Down to a knee is Jay Stewart, and he'll make the catch for the out. And that's not easy. That was hit well, and he's got the sunshine sinking off to the west here, and it's kind of in his face right now.
Yeah, that ball was hit hard.
So 2 down in the 8th inning brings up Kellen Leonard. Kellen is 0 for 3, a couple of groundouts, and a strikeout looking to end the 5th in his last plate appearance. First pitch to him here is outside, taking for ball 1. Well, all it takes is 1 swing, right, Coach?
That's very true.
The 1-0 pitch is swung on and fouled away on the first base side. That count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. I was looking at the numbers here. Not a lot of home runs, just 3.
No.
3
None.
for the season, or none for the season so far? Oh, yeah. A big goose head.
You know, that's the difference between now and years ago when they had the different bats. We'll talk about that more when we come back.
Okay, as it's a ground out and another 1-2-3 story. So the relief pitching has been stellar and continues to be as we head to the 9th inning. Still tied at 1. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
I believe we've been coming to Abby's for 56 years, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
56 years.
Remembering all the events as a family and a community that we spent at Abby's.
Excellent and delicious food at an affordable price. We're delighted that we live close enough to be able to be a frequent customer.
And we are.
And we are. In fact, we've got orders to bring home a giant pizza when we leave here tonight.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35-plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
So Michael Getzinger will start it off here in the 9th inning, the number 5 batter for Moses Lake. He was the starting pitcher. He was listed as a DH. He was run for after he was removed as the pitcher. And Brandon Schmitten joining us on the broadcast, former head coach for Eastmont. So a little different ruling here, and this was where fans get kind of lost. Wait a minute, that kid went out, and now he's back in there.
Right. So in the first couple innings when he was pitching, there's a thing called a courtesy runner. So a courtesy runner can come in for a pitcher or catcher at any time. But then when he became the designated hitter, well struck ball there, When he became the designated hitter, he no longer has the ability to have a courtesy runner. It now becomes a pinch runner. So the pinch runner came in for him and ran, and then Getzinger came out, and so that person that had gone in for him is now done for the game.
Okay.
So now here, when Getzinger got the hit, they have another guy that's going to come in here and pinch run, and so Getzinger is now officially done for the day.
Okay. Or at least for this game. Anyway.
Yes, for this game, yes.
So Jansen will come in and run at first base. It was Martinez that came and ran for him in his last at-bat back in the 6th. By the way, that's the first base hit by Moses Lake in 5 innings. As it's a leadoff single here, and Drew Greninger will step up, and he will square the bunt already. Singleton's pitch is low and outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. So a ringing single by Getzinger to lead off the inning. And now Jansen running for him at first base. Represents what could be the go-ahead run in a 1-1 ball game, as we're now in the top of the 9th inning, and a throw over to first, not in time. Boy, it's turned out to be a lovely afternoon.
Yeah, beautiful.
At the ballpark. Gorgeous sunshine. Lead by Jansen, Singleton ready, and the pitch to the plate is a bunt attempt. He fouled it off, and the count 1-1. Coach, what do you tell your pitcher when you got a guy that you know is going to try to bunt? What do you pitch? Where do you pitch it, and what do you throw?
Well, you want to, I mean, first and foremost is you want to throw an out, right? So you're going to want to throw strikes. But the hardest pitches to hit is going to be an off-speed pitch. But if you can't get your off-speed pitch over for a strike, then you're going to want to hit the upper half of the strike zone.
Oh, that's close. That is close at first base. Just back to the bag is Jansen.
As we saw earlier in the game, where the bunter lined out to the pitcher, that was a high pitch, and those are going to be harder to get down on the ground for you. So
and hard to bunt a pitch that's right at your noggin,
behind your back.
2-1 now. The count to Greninger. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for Moses Lake. 1 run, 7 hits, no errors for Eastmont. 2-1 to count as Greninger again squares to bunt. Singleton's going to
he was going
to the bag, and almost.
You see him flinch there? I think that runner's going.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see another pickoff here, hold for a long stretch of time, and then get a pickoff.
Singleton ready. And the runner goes. Bunt is up the third baseline. Is foul.
Now that's
that
a
was
good decision.
Good jump.
It was a really good jump, and that was a good decision by Jet there too, to let that roll foul because of the runner. And as you saw, there was nobody at third base, so if Jet picks that up fair, that runner goes from first to third.
Right.
And now it's another bunt, and you've got a
lead.
A lead.
Absolutely. So Greninger now even in the count 2-2. Now, we saw Moses Lake try to bunt with 2 strikes here a couple of innings ago. Well, they tried again. And he squares to bunt. Singleton ready, and the pitch to the plate. The runner holds. The bunt is right back to the pitcher. And Singleton throws to first base, and the sacrifice bunt achieved nicely there by Greninger.
As we go back to, you want to get an out. That's the most important thing as a pitcher. You know, if they're going to give you an out, take the out.
So Cruz Martinez. Now this is interesting that Cruz is back in there because Cooper Hancock came in to bat for him last time back in the 5th.
He did.
In the 6th inning.
Yeah, but Cruz came back in to play defense afterwards.
Okay.
So.
All right. First pitch is a strike to Martinez, 0-1 to count. Cruz back and ready with a runner in scoring position for Moses Lake, and he takes strike 2. Good job by Singleton to come right back at the plate here. Jansen running for Getzinger out there at second base. Eastmont trying to keep him on board. And the pitch swung on and hit slowly. Shortstop will field. No play and an infield single. And a good job of just eating that one by Tice Llewellyn.
That was a good decision. Sometimes you'll try and throw that across the diamond and the runner continues over to third base and Now you got a first and third situation.
And they hold the runner at second, so double play gets you out of the inning here. And that brings up Jackson Carlos, except first we're going to have a timeout, and I think we're going to have a pinch hitter come in. And this will be number 5. I don't have a 5 on my roster.
This is Nolan. Nolan, the kid that came in and ran earlier in the game. Nolan
Betts.
Yes.
Okay, so Betts will come in and hit for Carlos.
We have all of our papers everywhere, and half of them are soaking wet. Not soaking wet, but mumbled.
It did get a little wet here earlier with the rain shower that moved through, but I shouldn't say too much here.
No.
Second game of the doubleheader might be a question mark as I look off to the west. Pickoff move at second base, and the ball goes out to center field, but good job backing up out there by Barrios. And so everybody holds right where they are. So Betts stepping in the right-handed batter's box. Singleton on the mound in relief here for Eastmont. And runners at first and second. The pitch misses low for a ball. 1-0 the count. Defense has got to be ready for a ball to come their way. Eastmont double play depth. The pitch swung on and hit foul and out of play down the right field line. And the count even now to Betts at 1 ball and 1 strike.
As a coach, I always looked at those foul balls that went there and thought, oh my gosh, is a ditch full? So we have the irrigation canal that comes through here, and
right behind the first base dugout.
And that's a wet ball and ruined for the year. But there's no water in the ditch yet, so it's still good.
And a balk going to be called again on Singleton. So what the umpire is motioning is that Michael came with the ball together in his glove and then parted and then didn't come to the plate or didn't go to the base.
They would be calling that a double set. So he came with his hands set on the rubber and then took his hands apart and then came back.
So Singleton comes home to talk to the home plate umpire while Darren Hoff is visiting with John Steiner, the base umpire, who called that balk, and that's the second time he's called a balk on Michael Singleton. Now, do you intentionally walk the batter to load up the bases here with runners at second and third after the balk?
Well, this is a new hitter, so we don't really have much information on him.
And it counts 1-1 right now.
And we are in the 8 spot right here, so it would be bringing up your 9 hitter, which our 9 hitter hasn't done anything on the day, and it doesn't appear to me like he's going to be a kid that's going to be hitting a lot of fly balls, so could be a good decision. But
strike called on the outside corner as the infield is drawn in all the way around to keep the run from scoring for Eastmont defensively. Again, Nolan Betts, the pinch hitter for Jackson Carlos, with a ball and 2 strikes. The pitch to him is bunted, and that's a foul, and that's going to be strike 3.
That's, again, your safety squeezer. We didn't see any runners running. I don't know if he read the sign wrong, but
now, that was a bunt, right?
Yes,
so
but coach looked a little bit upset there.
No, but that's a bunt with 2 strikes, so he's out. Okay.
Oh, that was 2 strikes. You are right.
Yeah, he went back to keep batting. I'm like, wait a minute, they didn't change that rule too, did they?
No. I did not notice that there was 2 strikes.
Yeah,
there.
so that's a huge out right there for Eastmont's defense. Jay Stewart now steps up, as you mentioned. 0 for the day so far. He did walk and score their only run. This pitch swung on and hit foul at the third baseline. 0-1 the count. All right, interesting chess match here today between the Mavericks and the Wildcats. 2 teams atop the Big 9 standings. Coming in. Pitch by Singleton, swung on and hit foul and out of play, and the count goes to 0-2 on Jay Stewart.
Now, if we had that same situation, there was a guy in the middle of the lineup that had been hitting the ball hard all day long, the intentional walk would have been a good decision. But
0-2 pitch is behind the runner. The ball got away from the catcher, or they're going to say dead ball. It hit the batter. Well, that turns out to be probably a good thing for the Eastmont Wildcats. So that will load the bases. And then back to the top of the order for Braden Anderson, who is 0 for 3 today with a strikeout looking. He walked. He grounded out to third, and he flew out to center. No place to put him right now in a 1-1 ball game. Here in extra frames, we're in the top of the 9th inning. Jansen at third. The pitch swung on it, a well-hit ball, backing up on it, and still backing up. The center fielder, Barrios, makes the catch for the out, and that'll do it.
Again,
sigh of relief.
Great positioning there.
For the Eastmont fans here assembled at Dan White Field. We will head to the bottom of the ninth. Still 1-1. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCWLIFE Channel.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
7, 8, 9 batters due up for Eastmont here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Skylar Bryant will lead it off at a 1-1 ball game. The pitch to the plate bunted, but foul, and the count 0-1 on Skylar Bryant. Skylar is 0 for 2. Ground out to short, a walk, and a strikeout swinging his last plate appearance. The pitch here misses just outside by Valdez, and the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Valdez has done fantastic in relief here for Moses Lake. And this pitch swung on and hit in the air, but fouled, and that's going to get out of play. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. In fact, looking at it here, Valdez has retired 11 in a row.
Yes, he has. Yeah.
You can't ask for much better of a relief pitcher, that's for darn sure.
No.
1-2 the count to Bryant. Just trying to find a way to get aboard. Valdez ready. The pitch is high and inside for ball 2.
You know, Eric, going back to the bats, how they used to be so much more, we call it pop. There was a lot more pop in the bats. That ball that ended the last inning, that was one where you could have expected it to be possibly hitting off the wall when they used, we call them drop 5 bats.
This pitch swung on, hit down the left field line, and that is going to be a fair ball. Rounding first, Bryant heading for second. The left fielder comes up with a ball and a stand-up double to start the inning for Eastmont.
Great way to lead off an inning right there. But they used to be drop 5, which was, for example, a 33-28. And so the lighter bat made you swing it a little quicker, and so you got more performance out of the bat. Now they've deadened the bats, so that could be one of the reasons why the Wildcats have 0 home runs on the year.
Squaring to bunt is Whitehall, takes strike 1, 0-1 to count. Nate on the day, 1 for 2 with a base hit, a walk, and a line out to the first baseman. Coach Darren Hoff going through the old-fashioned signs down in the third base coach's box. Doesn't worry about an armband or a belt band or anything, and a pickoff move to second and back to the bag with his right foot standing as Bryant as the second baseman Harden came in. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning. Scoreboard's a little bit behind us unless the zeros don't show up out there.
They're supposed to.
0-1 to count. Whitehall scoring to bunt again. The pitch is taken outside for ball 1.
And you see here, as I mentioned earlier, the first baseman's standing almost in the batter's box here, so that's why we want to get it down the third baseline, because then he has to make a decision, either come forward or not.
Right. 1-1 the count to Whitehall. Squares to bunt again. The pitch is low and outside for a ball. 2-1. It's always interesting, too, about the mind game that goes on with baseball. As a batter at the plate squares early, and so the pitcher knows, okay, it's going to be a bunt.
Yes.
But I got to throw a strike. The 2-1 pitch is a strike called. Evens the count to Whitehall at 2-2.
We'll see if he does it again here. I would assume that he's going to.
Now, we've seen Moses Lake bunt twice with 2 strikes, 1 for an out, and this pitch goes all the way to the backstop, and the runner will move up on the wild pitch. So 3-2 the count in a 1-1 ball game, and Nate Whitehall with a chance to win it right here with a ball to the outfield. The outfielders also drawn in all the way around. So if Nate can get a hold of one, this game would be over. The pitch to the plate is low for ball 4. Runners on the corners, and that'll bring up Carter Heimbigner. And we're going to get a courtesy runner to come out at first base.
Jace Travato coming out again.
Travato out there at first.
And he's done this now 3 times for Nate, and he can continue to do this because he's a courtesy runner, not a pinch runner.
Now we're going to have a meeting on the mound to talk about how to play this defensively for Moses Lake. So the chess match continues. Eastmont with the, bird in the hand right now as they have runners on the corners and nobody out to the 1-1 ball game. And all you got to do is get a ball to the outfield, and you would think that would be the win.
Yes. Yeah.
But again, the outfield playing so shallow, it will make it interesting.
It will, yeah. But Skylar, we've talked about how fast the Jet and Tice are, but Skylar's up there with the speed too.
Well,
he runs
defensively
hard.
Moved in from right field to first base, and you'd assume that you got a guy in the outfield that he can move.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's a big, strong kid, plays football and does really well in football and shows his speed on the football field for sure.
So Travato with the lead, and nobody's holding him on there at first base. Meanwhile, a bunt attempt, and the ball is in the ground and down to second base goes Travato after a little hesitation. 1-0 the count to Heimbigner, and if you're Moses Lake, you don't care about the runner at second. You care about the runner 90 feet away at third base right now in the form of Skylar Bryant. So 1-0 the count to Heimbigner. Chance to be a hero for Eastmont. Pitch to the plate as he tried to bunt it up the first base line, reached for a ball outside, fouls it away, and the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
He almost approached that like it was a drag bunt or a push bunt instead of a sacrifice there.
Hoff with the signals in the third base coach's box. 1-1 the count to Heimbigner. Pitch on the way high with a fastball from Valdez, and the count goes to 2-1. He was thinking, see if he squares the bunt again there. He did not.
Third baseman sure has given up a lot of ground.
Pitch is bunted up the first baseline, and it will be everybody home and safe and game over. Eastmont wins it 2-1 on a beautiful bunt up the first baseline by Heimbigner. Give him the single and the RBI. Pitcher off the mound. I mean, there was just not much he could do with that, no matter what he was able to field. And so a great play by Eastmont offensively as they knock off Moses Lake and hand the Mavericks their first loss in the Big 9 season here by a score of 2-1 in 9 innings. That's going to wrap up our first broadcast. We've got the second of our doubleheader straight away as Eastmont improves with the win to 5-1 and Moses Lake falls to 6-1. We'll have game 2 coming up. You're watching Big 9 Baseball on the NCWLIFE Channel. Thanks for watching tonight's live coverage of local high school sports on the NCWLIFE Channel, your local TV station. Tonight's broadcast has been brought to you by Abby's Pizza, Biosports Physical Therapy, Clean Connection, Coldwell Banker Cascade, Confluence Health, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, and Together for Youth. This has been a special presentation of NCWLIFE Channel Sports. We now return you to normal programming already in progress.